Carlos King probably didn't see this coming. Two women who spent years throwing shade, exchanging side eyes, and clashing on screen have just pulled off one of the most unexpected moves in the history of love and marriage, Huntsville. Melody Shear and LaTisha Scott, two women known for being on opposite sides of nearly every argument, have now joined forces. But they're not teaming up for a brunch or a reality show spin-off. They've filed a lawsuit. And the man they're taking to court? None other than the show's creator, Carlos King. This isn't just some petty drama. The accusations they're making are serious enough to possibly end careers. To understand how shocking this is, let's rewind a bit. For years, Melody and LaTisha couldn't stand each other. Viewers watched them go back and forth with digs, arguments, and heated confrontations. It wasn't just for show, these two were genuine enemies. So when fans learned that they had filed a lawsuit together, jaws hit the floor. The very man who introduced their lives to the world is now being accused of betrayal on a massive scale. The lawsuit itself is intense. While all the details haven't been released, what's already come out paints a dark picture. Melody and LaTisha say this goes far beyond petty editing or dramatic cuts. They're accusing Carlos of serious exploitation, breaking contract terms, and maybe the most disturbing, blocking cast members from getting proper legal advice. And it all started quietly. Almost too quietly. It began with a simple like on Instagram. Melody posted something hinting that producers were playing God with people's lives. LaTisha, who normally would have ignored it or even mocked it, hit the like button. That one move sparked a private conversation. DMs were exchanged. They started talking, opening up, and realizing they had more in common than they thought. Then came the moment fans weren't supposed to see. The two of them spotted having dinner together in a quiet Huntsville restaurant. People assumed it was a coincidence. It wasn't. They were comparing notes, contracts, texts, emails, anything they had about Carlos and how the show was run. And what they discovered shocked them both. While the audience was busy watching their fights, they say Carlos was allegedly controlling the narrative behind the scenes, deciding who looked like the villain and who came off looking good. Melody says her very real divorce from Martel was turned into a circus, with cameras capturing every painful moment, while Martel was portrayed casually lounging with friends like life was great. LaTisha, on the other hand, says her actual marital struggles were either twisted or ignored in favor of making her look insecure and needy. Both women claim their true lives were misrepresented not to reflect reality, but to create the most dramatic TV possible. And Melody? She's not just upset about how she was portrayed. She says she helped create Love and Marriage, Huntsville in the first place. According to her, Carlos promised she'd be credited as a co-creator and given producer rights. She says there are emails and documents to prove it. But once the show took off, those promises disappeared. She got no credit, no extra money, just more drama at her expense. LaTisha's story mirrors Melody's in a scary way. She says she was rushed into signing contracts without having the chance to have a lawyer look them over. She was told it was standard, nothing to worry about. But in reality, she says those contracts locked her into unfair agreements. She also claims that scenes showing her real business efforts were cut from the show, leaving her portrayed as someone who just tagged along, not a woman running her own ventures. She says it was intentional, a way to box her into a certain image. Then comes the issue of money. Melody and LaTisha say they were misled about how much the show actually made. They claim there were no clear financial reports about streaming, reruns, or sponsorship deals. Melody says her face and story were used to promote specials, spin-offs, and events, but the checks she received didn't match the exposure. Think about that. These women say they were dealing with real heartbreaks, real businesses, and real stress while still expected to smile for the cameras and play along. They did for years. Until now. Carlos King, once known as a mastermind behind successful reality shows, is now the one under the microscope. When the lawsuit was filed, it didn't just rattle the cast, it sent shockwaves through the entire OWN network and other reality TV producers. Because if what Melody and LaTisha are claiming holds up in court, this could change everything. One of the most disturbing claims? Emotional manipulation. Melody says she was pressured to film during some of the hardest moments in her life, right in the middle of a divorce and custody battles. She was told the emotional rawness was necessary. But she believes it was about using her breakdown to boost ratings. Meanwhile, Martell, her ex, was filmed laughing and relaxing, making him look untouched by the chaos. LaTisha says she was baited by producers, constantly provoked about her marriage when she wasn't ready to talk. Her lawsuit claims she was made to feel like a stereotype: the jealous wife, the emotional wreck, the woman always behind. And all of it, she says, was approved by Carlos. But maybe the most chilling part? They claim cast members were actively discouraged from hiring lawyers. Multiple people say they were told things like, "Everyone signs this," or "Don't worry, it's just standard." LaTisha's attorneys now say that was a deliberate effort to keep power in the hands of the producers and stop the cast from protecting their rights. Melody also says that once she started asking questions about the money streaming numbers, product placements, brand deals, the production company became vague and defensive. LaTisha says she was promised her family business would get exposure in season 3. Instead, those scenes were allegedly cut, and she ended up barely featured in the storyline. Yet her image was still used in promotions. As soon as this lawsuit went public, something odd happened. The cast, usually active on social media, went silent. Maurice? Nothing. Marceau? Quiet. Destiny? No comment. Even Martell didn't have anything to say, and that man always has something to say. The silence spoke volumes. Still, not everyone stayed quiet. Stormy Steele posted a quote, "Sometimes the people who help you rise are the same ones holding you back." Fans knew exactly who she meant. Kimmy Scott began liking tweets calling out Carlos's shady production tactics. It was clear the mood was shifting. And fast. Behind the scenes, it's chaos. Lawyers are scrambling. OWN executives are reportedly holding emergency meetings. Advertisers have started pulling back. Some companies in talks to sponsor future seasons have paused discussions entirely. No brand wants to be linked to a show accused of mistreating and exploiting Black women. The reputation of the Love and Marriage brand is in real danger. And other reality TV producers? They're watching all of this very closely. Because if this lawsuit changes the rules of how cast members are treated, this might be the start of a whole new era for reality television. And that's where we are right now, on the edge of what could be one of the biggest shakeups in reality TV history. Carlos King, once praised as a genius for knowing how to pull ratings and spin drama into gold, is now facing serious accusations that may undo everything he's built. Industry insiders are starting to speak out, carefully at first, but clearly enough to signal that the old ways of doing business might not survive this storm. That so-called gray area where pain equals profit, where people's lives are rewritten for the sake of a storyline that might finally be closing for good. Because what started as just another behind-the-scenes conflict has turned into something much bigger. It's no longer just about Melody and LaTisha. This case is setting a precedent. They're not just fighting for themselves, they're putting the entire industry on notice. And let's be real, Black women have held up reality TV for years. They've been the drama, the depth, the reason people tune in. But they've also been the ones most often exploited, underpaid, misrepresented, and silenced. Melody and LaTisha's lawsuit isn't just exposing one man's alleged wrongdoing, it's giving voice to a system that's operated unchecked for far too long. Already, there are whispers that other cast members are reconsidering their roles, reviewing contracts, and reaching out to legal teams. What once felt untouchable, this world of producers shaping narratives from behind the scenes, is now facing questions it's never had to answer. OWN, the network that airs Love and Marriage, Huntsville, is now in a very uncomfortable spotlight. If they were complicit or turned a blind eye, they could be held responsible too. Whether they cut ties with Carlos, rebrand the show, or try to quietly ride this out, one thing is certain: every decision from here on out will speak volumes. Meanwhile, Carlos King has stayed silent publicly, allowing lawyers to speak for him. But sources say he's feeling the pressure, and for good reason. If even a portion of what Melody and LaTisha are alleging turns out to be true, It won't just damage his reputation, it could dismantle his whole empire. But maybe the most powerful part of this story? It all began with two women who were never supposed to be allies. Two women who were pitted against each other for years, only to realize they were fighting the wrong enemy. That one quiet Instagram like that one private dinner sparked a movement. And now, the entire reality TV world is watching, waiting, and wondering what's going to fall next. So stay tuned, because this isn't just drama anymore, this is accountability. And it might just change reality TV forever. See y'all in the next video. This is Celebnova, where the drama ends, and the truth begins. But maybe the most powerful part of this story? It all began with two women who were never supposed to be allies. Two women who were pitted against each other for years, only to realize they were fighting the wrong enemy. That one quiet Instagram like that one private dinner sparked a movement. And now, the entire reality TV world is watching, waiting, and wondering what's going to fall next. So stay tuned, because this isn't just drama anymore, this is accountability. And it might just change reality TV forever. See y'all in the next video. This is Celebnova, where the drama ends, and the truth begins.